unity within the African diaspora. I've got to rate you for that because I used to be like, and you're doing what are you doing, bro? You should be, and like, no. So therefore, if he saw Carl Froch ringside, Anthony Joshua knows, look, Anthony Joshua, bro. You know what I mean? I am Anthony Joshua, right? And that's the truth. But one thing I do know about Carl Froch, he's comfortable within his own skin. He likes when people talk shit about him. It doesn't bother him. But we'll see.
So being that we're on the heavyweight scene and we're talking all about that, was it a shock to you when Usyk beat Tyson Fury earlier this year?
Not at all. Because Usyk is very good. It wasn't a shock, but I still picked Tyson Fury to win, right? Simply because Tyson Fury can do genius stuff in that boxing ring. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. He does genius stuff. But if you understand what you're watching, if you can understand what you're watching, then you know that was freaking clever on what Tyson Fury did. But Usyk is a different breed. Totally different breed. Very highly skilled. Like incredibly highly skilled. Knows how to, and like he's like, you know what Usyk's like? Usyk is like Chinese water torture. You know, like little drops of water. It just catches up with you till it drives you insane. And that's what he did. You can see from the first round, from his southpaw position, he stood with Tyson Fury, he's throwing left hand straight down to his body. He's throwing a jab to Tyson's body from the first round. And what he was doing, he was deliberately doing that. That's to lower Tyson Fury's guard. And he lowered his guard. He had to wait till round 8 and 9 before he could let off a big shot. And he let off that big overhand left on Tyson Fury that had...
Yeah, it looked like it broke his nose or something. The way it just went and hit him, and Tyson wasn't the same after that.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, wobbled up, was hurt. So because of that, Usyk is just another level. You know what I mean? He is. So that I wasn't shocked that Usyk won the fight. What I am shocked about is that he could hurt Tyson Fury in a way that he did, because prior to the fight, me and like Tony Bombabellu, we speak regularly. Tony's my guy. Big shout out to Tony. Lovely, lovely man. Right? And I said, Tony, how do you see this? I'm telling you, Spence, he's gonna do Tyson. He said the guy mentally drains you when you fight him. I remember Tony Bellew put up a very, very gallant performance against him before getting knocked out. Yeah. He said the guy makes you fight his fight, and you're always weary in there, and he mentally zaps you. And so said, so done. Come fight time, what happened? You know what I mean? He got to Tyson Fury. And that's Tyson Fury. But then also, when I'm looking at it, I'm saying, you know what? Those 3 fights that Tyson Fury had with Deontay Wilder had to have had some effect on you. Right? Similar to when Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier 3 times. Those fights took an effect on you. Right? It did. It took an effect on both men. More so Ali, but it took an effect on you. Those 3 fights, the third fight was one of the best fights I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. God's got to be real. Right? But the first fight, when Tyson Fury gets knocked down, he's down on the ground, he just rises up like he's Lazarus. Like, you're thinking to yourself, like...
He done the Undertaker.
Yeah, he did. You're thinking to yourself, what am I actually watching here?
Yeah.
Right? But I think those fights have taken a toll on Tyson Fury. And Usyk took advantage of the fact that those fights have taken the toll, because he's technically sound and he's a very, very confident man. And he came out victorious.
The way I've sort of also looked at it is Usyk seems like a man of discipline. It looks like he lives that life in and out of the ring. He's always training hard. He's went to the army. He doesn't look like, he's abusing his body, where I feel when Tyson's out of camp, he doesn't sometimes live that lifestyle. What you see in the media.
Listen, people are talking about the recent video. That's what you're talking about, where you see him drunk out of the... When he's drunk on the street, yeah?
That's one of them, but sometimes you do see him out of shape as well. He does balloon up a little bit.
But
it's not like...
Tyson Fury, if you look at Tyson Fury has never had a body beautiful. He's never been, oh my goodness gracious, look at Tyson and all right. And remember, It's the next thing that people seem to forget. Like, and I know you love your boxing, so you say Terence Crawford's one of the best fighters in the world, right?
Yeah.
You're like, he's fantastic, right? Top 3, easily, right? Tyson Fury, when he was in his hiatus, right? Or when he's saying the drinking, the drugs, and like the manic depression and being bipolar and everything else, and he decided to make a comeback. When Tyson Fury decided to make his comeback, he lost Terence Crawford in body weight. Let that sink in. He lost Terence Crawford in body weight to come back and fight. And then he fought 2 men that you wouldn't even hire for sparring. And then he fights Deontay Wilder, and he beat Deontay Wilder, but they called it a draw. All the credit in the world should be given to Tyson Fury. I think what people need to recognize, right, and forget about the amount of money that Tyson's got and all the rest of it. I think things are about championing life, right? And if Tyson Fury just to stop for a second and just say, you know what? I came back from when I was on the brink and I became world heavyweight champion and lineal heavyweight champion, right? Then you got to give yourself a pat on the back and say, don't be so hard on yourself. So when you say you seem out of shape or you seem drunk, I don't smoke, I don't drink. And that's not only because of religious purposes, but I just don't, right? And Tyson Fury is allowed, I would say, to let his hair down. What little he has left, right? I would say that Tyson Fury, we shouldn't be looking at Tyson, oh my goodness gracious, he was out and he was drunk and blah, blah. I'm just looking at that and I'm saying, that is European culture. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not, that's European culture. So what?
As a fan, though, like Tyson Fury has been my favorite. I used to watch him on Channel 5, you know, when he was back in the days. Yeah, them times, like, you know, when I'm seeing, I'm like, Dad, I know we like this fight and that fighter, but this guy's going to be champion. And Dad's like, oh, he's a bit out of shape. I'm like, it's not about muscles with boxing. You know what I mean? It's not about being body fit. This guy can move. He's like a lightweight the way he's going on, you know. So that's the time I've been following him, and I've always been a favorite. And it's like, I just wanted, as a fan, to see him undisputed. Because I feel that he deserved that with all the fights he's been in. The way he fights, southpaw, orthodox, the way his whole mentality is. When he ballooned up and he came back, I was like, this guy's going to do it. I know he's going to do it. He's got that mental ability. I love he's a family man, fighting man. His dad's next to him. I just love that whole aura about it. It's like, he's a natural boxer. He hasn't been, you know, athletically sort of programmed like a robot to say you're going to be a fighter now, or you could have been any one of these sports. And that's what I love. But it's like, right, that last hurdle, I'm just like, why did he not use his size and power?
Yeah, it's so much easier for us to be on the outside and say, well, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? And we're not the ones in there, right? And I'm telling you that Usyk technically and tactically maneuvers you into a position where he can hit you and just do a little slight movement to get his head out of the way, right? And that's what he does. And he also allows you into a full sense of security. And he did that with Tyson Fury. Because when Tyson Fury was all mucking around, and I think it was like round 4, round 5, where Tyson stuck it on him. And I thought, oh my, this ain't going to a couple more rounds.
Yeah, that's
right. It. And he sucked it up.
Yeah.
Remember, Tyson Fury's a big unit.
Massive.
He's a big unit. He sucked it up and he came back. So it's not like, oh, this guy deserves to be undisputed. If a man he's a massive, what was he? He was British champ. Was he European champion as well? He's British Commonwealth champion. He was even like, I think he was Southern Area and English champion. And he went on to become WBC and lineal heavyweight champion. Now, when you say this man deserves to be undisputed champion, I hear what you're saying. But when I look at great heavyweights of the past, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time who's got to be in everybody's top 10, not anybody, but everybody's top 10 is Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes was never undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Do you realize that? The great Larry Holmes was never undisputed champion of the world. So when you look at things like that, I'm saying, well, even if you don't become undisputed champion of the world, Mr. Tyson Luke Fury, you're in good company.
What happens in December when it's round 2?
I want Tyson Fury to win. I do. Right? I want him to win. Whether he does, that's another story. right? Because I believe, and when I remember, it's like Spencer Brown, um, he's Tyson's manager, I know really well, and he was saying like, I was watching interviews. He was saying like, we've left no stone unturned, even down to in the swimming pool and the temperature of the water and everything. We've done everything we can for this. They did everything they can for this, and they came out second best, right? So it makes you think like, what can you do more this time to beat Usyk? And Usyk's very good at rematches. That's how I was saying to Joshua.
He's a good reader.
Yeah, right. But in saying that, I believe if Tyson Fury did slight adjustments, he could win this fight. He ain't gonna win the fight excitingly. He's gonna win the fight technically boring. But I think Tyson Fury could win the fight. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep on saying this until this gets to his camp. Make sure that
What?
you know what I mean. Take a seat. I'm gonna this segment here. I'm gonna send it to Spencer Brown and Woody, who also works in for Gold Star. I'm saying it because I really do believe that Tyson Fury could win the fight, but it would be boring.
Do you think he needs to keep him on the outside and use his reach?
It would have to do that. It would have to do that. But the thing about it is this: what Tyson Fury does so brilliantly, did it so brilliantly in the third Deontay Wilder fight, is when he feints, he double jabs, right? And I think he got taken away to think, right, I'm the bigger man. I'm just going to show you what time of day it is. But he was with a other guy that could suck that up, and he did suck it up. But you know what? Because I think it'd be sacrilege if we don't get Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, this was my next question. It's like, look, they're the two biggest names in British boxing, you know, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Who wins that fight?
Right now, Anthony Joshua. Right now, Anthony Joshua.
Is it because Tyson's coming off a loss?
Yeah, and not only that, but I really do enjoy this Anthony Joshua that I'm seeing right now, with who he's linked with Ben Davison. The irony is that Ben Davison used to train Tyson Fury, but I'm enjoying seeing this guy here. I'm really this Anthony Joshua here. I like this Anthony Joshua. I really do like him.
Okay, well, I hope we do get to see that fight. You know, look, you've been absolutely amazing in terms of, you know, your analytics, in terms of the heavyweight boxing division. You're, you know, a renowned historian in the game. You've got bags of knowledge. I want to go back in time to when you was actually boxing. You know, seen a few of your fights, and one of the most exciting fights I saw of yours when you was fighting David Walker. God, that was a fight. Talk to me about that fight, because for those of people that don't know, there was like three knockdowns, and both of you got sort of knocked down. But talk to me about that fight. Talk to me about that night.
You know what? I say this a lot to people, and I'm saying everything is about championing life. You can put so much emphasis in, I'm going to be champ. I've got to be like, now I can be really open and honest about it. I know that I massively underachieved as a boxer, but that was majorly because I didn't have that real fire inside my belly, because I've been very fortunate in life to have a good network of people. Like Tundi Ajayi always says on the fight, I got a crazy black book, and it's even more crazy now. I got you in there as well now, right? But I'm saying, like, I got a crazy black book where I know everybody. I was always that guy as a young kid that, if you want something, come to Spencer, no matter what it was. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to go on holiday. Talk to Spencer. He's got a link to get cheap holidays. You know what I mean? I want a new car. Talk to Spencer. I want a video recorder. Talk to anything, caster, anything. I was always that kid. And with that comes price tag you earn. So you're wheeling and dealing and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? I think now when I look back now as I'm getting older, I wish that I had better infrastructure. I'm glad that I'm talking to you because you're a property guy. We can sort out something off the camera,
Maybe.
right? yeah, right. So when you're that way inclined, the real oomph or desire weren't really there, because I could do amazing things in the gym. I mean, amazing things. And I'm not saying it to blow, but go speak to the old pros that you spar. Go speak to Rinky Wright. Go speak to Howard Eastman. Go speak to, there's loads of guys. Richard Williams was a fantastic player. Like, but I realized now that I was actually a gym fighter, right?
What does that mean?
Meaning that I could perform in the gym, but I would never really perform in the spotlight. Certain times I was performing in the spotlight, certain times I wouldn't perform in the spotlight.
Why is that? What's the difference?
I'll tell you it's the occasion would play heavily on it. And like, I remember like before certain fights, um, I'd break down in tears.
Mm.
I remember like, my best friend, Edmund Clotty, everyone calls him Country. I remember I was up. It was like my first title fight was against a guy called Gary Logan, who's like one of my best mates, really mad fighter. But there against a guy called Gary Logan, right, for the Southern Area title, middleweight Southern Area title, and I'm in the like I would listen to a certain gospel song in my house to get me hyped. Right, by the Winans or something, but it would get me hyped. Like, yeah, we're gonna go do this. And I remember being in my bedroom. This is the song Shadowboxing, and I played it, and I started crying. I was crying uncontrollably. I was just crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And my mum comes up and she said, "What's the matter with you? You're gonna be good." And then she phones my mate Country, and he comes over and he, "Come on, man, what's the matter? Come on, we're gonna do this. It's you. You're the spirit." That's what it was called me then. You're the spirit. You're gonna do. And I was just crying uncontrollably. So I realized like with boxing, sometimes you gotta be detached from the dangers of the sport. Yeah? And I don't think I was really detached from the dangers of boxing. I'm not just talking about the physical danger, I'm talking about the mental danger. I wasn't detached from it. I was fully aware of the dangers. And it was also like with anything that you're going after in life. If you're going after it, but you're going after it half-hearted, because I was that guy, I always used to get girls, right? It's not, no, I'm just saying I always used to get the prettiest girls I would get. I mean, I always had flash cars. I always had those things. And it wasn't through the attributes of boxing, right? People thought it was from the attributes of boxing, but it actually wasn't from the attributes of boxing. And it was like, when you're that face, like, I was a name from secondary school. Everybody knew, oh, Spencer's the guy. So I've always had that. So, and if I look at guys who really made it, they were not the ones. They had something to really, really fight for. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, when I fought Dave Walker, I remember that was 5 million people watched that on BBC, right?
It won fight of
the year. Yeah, it was
fight of the year.
Fight of the year. And me and Dave Walker are really good friends. My mom passed away 2 years ago. And let me just say this before anything. Dave Walker came to my mom's funeral, right? And he brought my old boxing club, Lynn AC club captain, Harry Senior. He brought Harry Senior. Harry Senior, he had a really bad stroke, right? And he brought Harry because he's kind of like Harry's unofficial carer, right? And he brings Harry Senior there. Harry's at there, and everybody came to my mom's funeral. I mean, everybody. I was seriously, everybody came to my mom's funeral. Former world champions came, current champions. It was mad. I mean, ex-footballers who were big stars. It was mad, the amount of people that came to my mom's funeral. But Dave Walker came to my mom's funeral. And this guy, when he came to my mom's funeral, he helped tidy up. He was in the kitchen serving food, all those kind of things. It's like, so me and Dave's been friends. I was looking at that and I'm saying, look at this, how crazy things are, Dave. Because like 20 years prior to that, me and you were literally, and I mean literally trying to kill each other. You know? And you know what I mean? Dave had his open battles, or which he's had his own demons that he's battled and all the rest of it. But on those things, it's like, that was such a good fight. I remember knock him down in the first round. At the end of the first round, it was like if I was 20 seconds or 10 seconds earlier, he'd been knocked out. And he gets up and he's gone. And he's trained by Robert McCracken. Imagine we were talking about. He's trained by Robert McCracken, right? He comes out second round. He tries to stick it on me, and I catch him again. I hit him with a right uppercut, left hook, and he goes over from that again. And I think, right, you're done.
You actually jumped on the ropes, didn't you?
Yeah. I thought, you're done now. You're done. And you know, even more so, like anybody tell you in boxing, like when you hit somebody, you can feel a little shock in your hand, a little shock, like a funny feeling, like a little electric shock in your hand. That's when, and he got up. Fair play to it, right? Then we're into round 4. no, into round 3, and then end of the round, he knocks me down with an overhand right. Then I get up, right? And then he comes out and he throws out a barrage of punches. I remember the referee Lee Cook stopped the fight, and I'm like, "What? Are you stupid?"
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I'm gonna be real with you. Because in my head, I'm saying, "All right, I'm on the ropes. He's throwing shots at me," and I'm saying to him, "Cause I used to do this in the gym."
I was really impressed by you at that stage because you were slipping and sliding. He wasn't hitting you. He wasn't hitting you anything clean.
You know what? I'm not complaining about that because that fight is part of history, and like, if I won that fight, I don't think people were talking about how it is. You know what I mean? Because it was that one of those ones. And when it's on fire, I said, "What are you doing?" Because in my head, I know like someone's throwing shots at you, and I said, "Don't worry, I'm going to clear my head and watch. I'm going to come back on you." Because I said, then I'm just going to throw a burst back on you, and you're going to know it. But the referee don't know that. The referee's thinking, right, you're not that. Dave Walker's a house fighter. You know what I mean? Dave Walker, they're one who they're pumping all the money to. BBC was pushing him as a big star, right? And I'm here upsetting the apple cart. So it is what it is. But you know what? There's no finer person to say that I've lost to because we're really good friends. Right? I mean, really good friends. And I've got nothing but love and respect for Dave Walker.
Sure, like that's towards him, but what about in terms of the system? Do you think it's corrupt? Do you think it was?
I don't think there's no.
Do you think there's? Do you think there is racism in boxing?
I think there's racism in boxing. I think there's racism in everything. Before we want to tackle racism in boxing, we've got to look at racism and what it is. Racism is a societal issue. It's not a boxing. It's just like, is there racism in the property development game? What you're into? You can say, of course there is. Because there's racism in every bloody thing, right? So I'm not gonna say, oh, but there's racism why I got stopped in the fight. No, I think it played a factor simply not racism. It played a factor to why I got stopped because one fighter was a house fighter.
Yeah.
Who had the big promotional company behind him and everything else, which the referee's on. And the other guys I took that fight on 7 days' notice, right? The other guy is coming there, he's a bit flash, and you know what? He's just about to knock out our house fighter, and there is a unspoken favoritism, and that's what it was. And I'm not fussed about it. I'm still healthy, strong. I'm good. My family's good.
So Spencer, let me ask you: how do you deal with your losses?
How do you deal with them? They're not that important. You know what I mean? And I handle losses just like you handle the wins, right? Because keep on, like people, we get so immersed in these wins, right? And I was never really that person because I didn't have to have the win to be cocky. I'd wake up, I'd be cocky. Wake up in the morning, I'd be confident. I wake up, that's how I am. So once you realize it's not about championing fights, it's about championing your relationship in life with your family, with your children, with your. Once you start realizing that, it's just about championing. Even like I've made a really disgusting mistake recently, right? That will have reverberations on family members, friends, opinions that they had of me, and all the rest of it. But then you have to realize, well, I still got to champion life, properly got to champion life because as Jesus said, he without sin cast the first stone, right? Oh, you gonna put them stones down. You gonna put them stones down. So it's about that. So it's more about that. And like I said, like I'm really, really grateful that I'm on your show that I get to speak about this because.
What mistake did you make? Can you share?
I've made loads of mistakes. You know what I mean? I've hurt people that have truly loved me. You know what I mean? Who truly love me. I've stayed in situations where I haven't been happy and they haven't been happy, but you will stay there to think like, well, this is the right thing to do when it's actually not the right thing to do. You're just staying there for the sake of staying there. You know what I mean? And those are the things to me when if you're blessed enough to get somebody that says, right, I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you because you are, never take that for granted, right? Never take that for granted. And also be open to talk. And I know it's like sometimes, you know, when they say like pride comes before the fall, and it is literally that pride does come before the fall, right? And no matter how much you may think that you're a good man, you can always be a better man. And that's important. Like when you're going through a drama, like most people do, right now, trust me, it's like everyone's getting killed by these frigging cost of living crisis. Is nuts. It's really, really mad, right? Major thing is this: always plan, right? Always write out your stuff to say what you're gonna do from what you're not gonna do, and what that does, that gives you that sense of discipline. And once you got that sense of discipline, you keep on working on the stuff that you want to go and do. That is so important. It's paramount. You know what I mean? To plan, right? To plan. Because whatever you plan for, you got a great possibility of getting it. You know what I mean? But just plan for it. And so I know I made mistakes. You know what I mean? Bad mistakes. You know what I mean? I know like my first child was somebody I wasn't with per se. And I haven't got the best relationship right now with my eldest daughter, which kills me because she looks just like me. You know what I mean? But we're not as close as we should. There's a lot of things that went on. Like after my mom died, I was not in the best place, right? I was not I was not in the best place. Um, and I know like my relationship with my daughter kind of subsided, and because of ignorance, or because you're thinking, well, I'm sending money to your mum each month, so it doesn't matter. No. Your child needs you there. I'm embarrassed because the opinion that my daughter will have of me, she doesn't remember. She don't remember all the things that I've done for her. She don't remember all the things that, well, daddy was like super dad. She don't remember that. So I would say to anybody out there, if you have children, make sure you're there for your kids. Not saying like, and it's not monetary. You know what I mean? It's not monetary. Just make sure you're there for them, that you got a relationship with them, that you can talk to them, you know what I mean? Like my two youngest daughters, right? My two youngest daughters, they look at me like I'm a superhero. You know what I mean? They do. They think daddy's amazing and stuff. But then they also know like, daddy, you could do a bit better. You're a bit lazy on certain things. You're a bit, you know what I mean? My eldest son, he's like, I want you to do better for my mom. And sometimes we can get immersed in thinking that we're this guy. I'm the knowledge. I'm the shit. The most important thing is your family. The most important thing is this: is how you raise them, because how you raise them is how they're going to put you back into the ground, right? If we go through the natural order of stuff, right? And so I would say like those things are important. Those things where you're saying like the most important thing. Like I could speak on like on my son. My son is not my biological child, right? It's his mother's child, but I've raised him since he's 3 years old, and I know how I was with him when he was growing up. To a certain age, like we kind of like split away. Then they find their own identity, and we're not as tight as we should be. But it's like now it's kind of nice because I'm kind of merging back that tightness. It means a lot when they kick in and saying, "Oh, daddy, you okay? I love you." That's just made my day. You don't have to say nothing else to me. That's just, you know what I'm trying to say to you,
Nice.
right? So these are the things that are important. I'm also like my other children, like just to know your dad's there and your dad's always on the graft. And the reason why your dad's always on the graft is because your dad wants to provide for you. But I used to think like the provision is a good thing. Don't get twisted. Like, but it's financial provision. Right, so I'm grafting, and you use it as an excuse. But as you're always constantly grafting, you're always, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You're saying in your head, I'm doing this for my kids. But you're not. You're actually doing it for yourself. You are. You're doing it for yourself because you don't want to really and truly spend that time, because sometimes they can be annoying, right? You don't really, you have to spend that time. You know what I mean? And not only spend that time, you have to invest that time. And I realize that, and it's mad because I'm not as young spring chicken anymore. I just look young, but you know what I mean? But I'm not. So
Come on.
Right. So these are the things that are important, but more so, the biggest buzz that any human being can get is when you're